First of all, I'm just absolutely delighted to be here at the Mint-TechCircle Business Transformation Symposium Awards 2021. I think it's quite a unique platform which is getting together startups, technology, e-commerce companies, all to come together and learn from each other in multiple possible ways. Also excited to know that OYO has won an award for the category of Good Business, which is the Good Business Awards, and very proud and thankful to all my colleagues who enabled us to get here to win this award. Let me just talk a little bit about, a lot of people ask me saying, what is your outlook for the travel and tourism industry? What do you think is going to happen to hospitality? And I think now I personally believe that we are on the cusp of probably the biggest growth we'll ever see in the industry in the next 2-3 years. For a very simple reason that the industry has experienced a once-in-a-century event over the last 15-18 months. And it goes against the basic nature of human beings to stay cooped up at home for a long period of time and not travel. Because travel is not a fad, it's a core human instinct. So I do believe you'll see the absolute best times the industry has seen, but it'll take, what I can't predict is which quarter it'll come. It could take 1 quarter, 2 quarters, or 3 quarters to come. But what has happened over the last 15-18 months is the role technology and products have started playing in the travel ecosystem. I'll give you a few very simple examples on what I believe is changing the category overall, and a couple of examples from what we are doing just to keep the mix even. I think the one big shift which has happened is the fact that during the pandemic, millions of new to digital consumers have come. For example, let's say when the lockdowns happened, people who have never tried an app to order grocery or medicines tried it, right? The wonderful part is that once people go digital, they go to an app for a certain category, it doesn't stop there. I think you just learn how wonderful it is to be able to interact with a simple technology and get goods or services at your time and convenience the way you want it. So travel and multiple other categories will benefit massively from this rapid shift in digital behavior and adoption. And you see data coming out of the US. In the last 15 months, in some categories, the shifts in digital adoption has been more than last 10 years combined. That's staggering. Those kind of data points are absolutely staggering. Those are data points one lives to sort of build businesses for. But let me just come back and say that how have we thought about products and the interface? I think for us, products is not about really the coolest technology, the coolest feature that you can launch. It has to be rooted into creating more and more magic for the consumer and the partner. And one thing which is not recent, which has been the ethos, and you can check this out. You can download the OYO app, and our attempt has been that it should take you less than 5 seconds to book a room, and it happens all the time, right? So you can book a room in less than 5 seconds. We are maniacal about keeping it very, very simple for the consumer. So nothing should come in the way of your ability to book a room fast, because maybe that's all you want to do, right? But that's a base philosophy and has been there for several years. One of the things that we realized is at this point in time, if you notice globally as well as in India, vaccination is topic of conversation number one. It is in households, it's in society, government, enterprises, business, and rightly so, because all data is showing that the one sure path out of this pandemic is to get people vaccinated. So what we did was we said, we want to encourage all our partners and their staff to get vaccinated. And the way digital products accelerate physical adoption of something is magical to see. We launched something called a vaccine 8 tag, which means that if you go to the app, you'll see hotels which are labeled vaccinate, which means we are signaling to the consumer that this partner is fantastic. She has not only vaccinated herself, but also all staff members. And they give us some kind of certification. We don't see personal records, but we rely on certifications to give that tag. I think the interesting consumer response we are seeing is our revenue per or RevPAR, which is the industry parlance, has gone up 40-50% for the 1200 plus hotels today, which are on vaccinate platform versus which are not. So the consumer is clearly saying that I like this feature. I like the fact that I can go to a hotel where I know everybody is vaccinated. So that's one clear example of something which is very topical, recent, but is built like a product rather than a on-the-ground service, which is only left to that outcome. If you think about, I won't talk about payments and all because that has become such a table stake that you allow the consumer to pay through multiple modes and methods. But just think about really looking at all kinds of use cases and imagining a world which can exist. So can you, for example, for a marriage, book an entire hotel, right, on the app as a product? You can, right? We are thinking of it, and some point in time we'll come with that product because it's a valid use case that you're going with a group and you want to book an entire hotel. It should show up as one price, right? Contactless check-in, which is today you can check into a OYO hotel from anywhere. So if you're on your way to the hotel and you have the app, you don't need to actually go to the reception to do the check-in. You can do the check-in right there through a completely digital interface. Thinking of the partner side, our partners are largely small business owners or people who are having a hotel or a home as primary or secondary income. And some of them have become very, very successful. So, for example, 40 partners today own more than 10 hotels. But what is most interesting is that how they have started asking for more and more technology and product to solve their problems than human beings to solve the problems. An example, on the product, which is a OYO app that we have, today a partner can see pretty much everything that she needs to know about the hotel that they are running right in that app. How many customers came? At what price? What is my occupancy looking like by the hour? What is my feedback on consumers? How does it compare to those hotels around me? Right? What do consumers like in my hotel? What do they not like? What is the range of prices I should operate in? What time, what kind of price gives me what outcome? Now this power was probably available to large hotel chains who had the ability to do this because they could hire large tech teams, engineers. But today this power of this transparency is available even if you are a small hotel owner running just a 15-room hotel anywhere in India. How powerful is that you have really given a digital tool in the hands of somebody who can use that to build revenue, to satisfy their customers far more, and frankly lower costs in the hotel because they know much more about their hotel than they did earlier. That's one example of the partner side. The third, which is most fascinating, and I think that's where the world will increasingly already move and will move even more, that today, imagine you're traveling from here to, let's say, Europe and or any city which you've never been before. Earlier, you will call somebody there and ask, where to stay, what to do, what's a good thing, what's a not so good thing. And today, you have the power of aggregating reviews from consumers in one place. And what is fascinating is, me and you trust the collective intelligence and feedback of complete strangers to make significant choices on travel. That is fascinating, right? So you're going to one, and I've used this, for example, an Airbnb, for example, or our own vacation home business in Europe, where you're going to one village in Switzerland you've never been to, and you're relying on completely people you don't know on their feedback and ratings because it is transparent, it is meant to give you direction, and landing up in that city and staying in a home which probably you don't even meet anyone. You sometimes have keys left below the mat or in a box You open it, you stay there for 4-5 days, and you come out, and then you give again feedback, because that's how the system works. It's just incredible that technology's product has given people more information than knowing any number of human beings could have in that geography. That is moving from there to influences and opportunities where influencers are creating a visual imagery and encouraging people to travel in multiple directions. So I do feel that product and tech is something that is going to not just enable transformation, it's going to lead transformation in travel and hospitality. And in 5 or 10 years' time, there are only two kinds of companies who will remain. One who adopted this, moved with the times and created enormous value, and others who took a different bet, and I don't know what outcomes they will get to, but I do hope that most realize that it is the former which will most likely create disproportionate value for consumers and partners alike. With that, I'd like to end my address, and I thank Mint and TechCircle once again for giving me the opportunity to come here and share my views. Thank you so much.